Hello, today I'm joined by my guest, Mr. Mal McCallion from ModelProp. How you doing, Mal?
Really, really well. Thanks, David. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Well, obviously it's a timeless classic because we're on the internet, but it's a Friday afternoon. We're looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah.
And Mal, it's a great face to see on a Friday afternoon, a well-known face in the industry. You are well experienced, but you've got
Very nice.
something rather exciting coming along because I've been told the robots are coming. Is that right?
That's right. I for one, am excited for our robot overlords to come and tell us what to do. But yes, no, that AI is obviously the kind of the intermediate step, shall we say? And look, interestingly, it's a conversation I often get actually involved with is AI actually going to kind of take us over? And there's two kind of schools of thought. There's what they call the kind of the doomers, and then there's a sort of accelerationists. Now, the doomers basically think that essentially as soon as AI kind of gets smarter than us, then we're all going to die. And then the other guys are thinking, well, we can actually control it. And I'm much more in that latter camp. I think actually, we're doing so much work on alignment, as they call it, which is about kind of making sure that everything we create is aligned with our values and what we're trying to do. So yeah, look, I think it's exciting. Yes, I think it's right that we take care of it, and we're kind of a little bit, we're making sure we're doing the right things, but the stuff it can do is amazing.
So is it? I mean, I think it's fairly fair to say that most people don't have a good handle on what AI actually is capable of or what it does. So we have a notion of AI because it's so overwhelming, isn't it? The capabilities and what it can be done. So
Yeah,
we understand from the basics that we've picked up from sci-fi and from popular culture what it could be, and that's an uneducated, uninformed view. But then we also hear what it might be able to help us with at work. And a
yeah.
lot of us are just going, okay, this is too much for me. I can't make sense of it. But luckily, there's someone like you, right?
Right. So look, I am old enough, and as you say, experienced enough to remember back in 2000 when we were setting up prime location, and I spent a lot of my time and rightly explaining what the internet was to estate agents, and it feels like kind of that moment again, and it's natural that everybody's kind of looking at it, and again, I just remember those conversations with agents where they were just like, the internet is going to get us all out of jobs. It's going to disintermediate us. It's going to all that sort of stuff. And here we are 25 years later with pretty much exactly the same scenario in terms of estate agents on the high streets and so on. So look, AI, just like, I don't know, electricity and cars can do bad things, right? You can, if you so choose, electrocute somebody, run over them. But actually, most people are going to find ways to use this in a really, really compelling way. And I genuinely said the reason we set up ModelProp, it's my business, set it up about 6 months ago, was really to try and essentially translate all of this kind of freaky kind of noise and oh my god, is it going to kill us, is it going to help us, all that sort of stuff, into what genuinely can it do for estate and lettings agents in the UK. All right. And again, 25 years, I've been fortunate enough to be working alongside the industry and building sort of tech products. And I really think that this is on a parallel with, if not more, exciting than the internet, mobile, and various other kind of big leaps forward. So if you think, looking back at the changes that those have wrought, the benefits they've given us, the positives, I think this is going to be really, really exciting. And again, this is why we kind of, ModelProp is essentially a kind of advice help area where you can come get trustworthy advice about anything to do with AI. That's our kind of core mission, is education, literacy, AI literacy. That's what we want to help the industry to understand. And then, yes, actually, then what is it that we can actually produce and create that's going to help estate and lettings agents to win more market share, to get more revenue per transaction, and to cut their costs. All right. And those are the three things we kind of obsess about.
So there's a lot of superlatives being chucked around about AI. One of them is game changer. It's a real game changer, and we talk about that a lot when it comes to tech. But really, some of the things that I've seen that AI is capable of doing, which I think it truly does, it changes the nature of maybe how we play a more intelligent game with, particularly when interacting with our customers. Could you give us some practical examples, perhaps, of things that agents could be using today to
Yeah,
assist them their businesses?
absolutely. So I think that the kind of when I look at what agents do, you can almost separate it out, and just bear with me in these wild generalizations for a second. You can separate it down to things that people do but don't like doing, and things that people do that they do like doing. Right? So it's the human stuff, which is going out and seeing people and generating business and having those one-to-one kind of chats and all that sort of stuff is on the one hand the human stuff. And then there's the kind of like almost us as machines bit, which is where we sit and type things into computers, or we sit and, kind of try and, create property descriptions or whatever it is, just things that are really broadly mundane. And it's those things that we're obsessed about here at ModelProp, about trying to kind of automate and use AI to kind of fix, so that everybody can go out and do the fun stuff and kind of get out and actually generate more business, go out to those community events and, be seen and visible and all those the fun stuff. So when we think about what can AI do right now, I think there's sort of three core things that jump out. One is around, as mentioned, property descriptions. So really cost effectively, you can get AI to write your property descriptions, and not just with a kind of chat GPT-4 bolt-on, right? ChatGPT-4 is one of these large language models from a company called
Yeah,
OpenAI. Anything you put in there, you can tell it, write this like a property description, but broadly it will write it in American English. It will repeat itself. If you do it 3 times, then you'll find it saying the same kind of sentence over and over again. So
yeah,
what we do, we've got a product called Particulars Writer. And what that does is we train it on your property description. So all the stuff you and your human colleagues have written, we train this AI up on that. And then anything else you put in, it just writes like that. And we make sure that it's different and new each time and all that sort of stuff. So it's really
but it's in that same company style that you're used to sort of putting out there.
absolutely. And the thing we think it solves is that kind of blank sheet of paper problem, where you just come back and you've got so much admin to take this property on anyway. And they're just sitting there just looking at this thing going, right, I've got like 5 bullet points and I've got to try and make this into some coherent kind of advert, but also avoid some of these, words that everybody always uses. And then I've used that phrase 17 times in the last couple of weeks. So it's that it just solves that problem and just lets, it saves 10-15 minutes per
Yeah.
property, and that's a lot of
There are many property descriptions that I've sat down to write over the years, and I find myself repeating myself because, let's face it, if you're successful and you do what you do, it becomes a bit samey, doesn't it?
exactly
Because
right.
you rinse and repeat, and
Yeah.
sometimes you need that external almost push and
And even if it's just a good first draft, right? Even if you then go in and like pull it out and put other things back in, at least it's not that blank sheet of paper, and it's not that, oh my God, I'm doing this for the millionth time, like Groundhog Day. So I think that's one of the kind of really simple ways that this can help. And again, I know there are other things out there, but this is just really kind of focused around your behaving like you. The second piece is very much around the sort of content generation. So again, being in the industry for so long, you see kind of things come along. So when social media first came along and everyone went, hooray, we can now get our message out directly to loads of people, and it's just really straightforward and easy. And then literally it became this kind of chain around people's necks where they'd start a blog, and then, you'd look at it 3 years later and it's got, 2017 was the last time the blog was updated or
yeah.
something like that. And it's perfectly understandable. Again, there's so many other things to do that sitting there thinking about, I've got to, I promised myself I'd write a blog a month or 2 blogs a week or whatever. It's really hard. So what we do is we've got a really kind of structured sort of calendarized system where we produce blogs every day, right? So for an agent, we'll produce a blog every day, and it will be something about the local area on a Monday. It'll be a seller's kind of informative piece on a Tuesday, something about landlords Wednesday, buyers Thursday, tenants Friday, or you can mix and match, take away, whatever you want. But essentially, our team will, again, use your tone of voice and the way that you write, and will create stories on those topics that literally will, that they can be embedded with all sorts of keywords and stuff like that. And they're just producing things for your blog that is going to help your website to look really, really good. And we'll also then share those out on social media. All right, so we'll put them on your blog. We'll share them out on up to three social media channels, and it literally just it's a set and forget. You just know in the back.
And I think what's great about your blog content as well is that, you know, if you wanted to add back in that kind of personal element, they make for really great scripts for video pieces. So if you just want to talk to camera and literally read out those blogs, if you've got an auto cue, it's the best thing you can do, isn't it?
Absolutely right.
Just great content.
Yeah, for sure. And in a sec, if we get to it, then I may show you how you can also get an AI avatar of yourself to read it. So to save you even more time.
Exciting.
Having to sit in front of the camera. In fact, this isn't me. This is the iPad. I promise it is me. But yeah, so there's all that sort of stuff going on, and look, and I don't want to kind of over pitch or anything like that, but the cost effectiveness is incredible. So for that blog a day is £149, right, per month.
Yeah.
So literally, this is what AI does. It doesn't just help you to kind of expand on what the good stuff that you will be doing anyway. It also does it crazy kind of cost effectiveness compared with what the alternative is. So that's something that I think is great as well. The other one that's really really cool is we've got an AI assistant, right? It's called an AI local services assistant. So we've called it Ailsa, obviously. And Ailsa basically will, again, it will behave as you. So we train it up. It's got underneath it all, it's got one of these large language models, so ChatGPT-4. Then it's overlaid with all this property and locality data. So it knows all about the kind of local area. It knows land registry data. It knows PAF, the post office address file. It knows the Ofsted reports. Okay, and it knows Michelin star restaurants. It knows flooding risks and all this sort of stuff. So this is all baked into this brain, and then over the top of it, we overlay it with your agent information. So it then knows all your properties that you're selling that day, and all the property descriptions as well. It knows all about your teams. It knows your history. It knows the locations you cover. All that sort of stuff is in this box, this brain, and basically you can then just ask it any questions. All right.
So it's like a chatbot, if you like, but it's super intelligent.
Exactly. It's literally you on your best day all the time, where you can remember absolutely everything you've ever said. And it's also got all your terms and conditions for tenants. All right. It's got all that stuff in it. So if anybody, if at 4 o'clock in the morning, somebody.
It sounds great. Combine this with an avatar. I never need to go into work ever again.
Exactly right. So literally the beach. You'll just be sitting there and just wondering how much money you made today. Yeah, good. Or going out and doing all the human things that we spoke about. But yeah, so these are the kinds of things that I think are just super exciting. And what it does is it then allows people to just do normal things. So we've got a few agents who are helping local businesses and local community events, by actually having them embedded in this. So if somebody goes in and says, what's happening this weekend or whatever, then it will say, well, actually, we've got this thing going on down at the church hall, or what's the best sports shop in Oxford, and this particular agent, has a particular favorite where they get 20% off. So it just kind of helps that kind of whole community hub as well, and it's really powerful.
It sounds superb. Can you show us some of it in action?
Do you know what? Here's one we made earlier. So I am going to just very quickly share my screen. So what we will look at first of all is we're going to look at this. So this is an AI system. And as you can see, what this does is the intent here is to help agents to be much more relevant during people living in their homes, as well as the kind of bookends when they move house, moving into and moving out the area. So I think that one of the kind of downsides of AI, and I think particularly this year when there's so many elections happening, this in 2024, is going to be that people are going to really distrust what they see online a lot. Okay, so as in from faceless corporations or businesses that don't have any physical identity or entity within their communities. So, we've got kind of Biden fake kind of robocalls. We've got loads and loads of stuff. We've got, even refer to Princess Kate, who's, been messing about.
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly what I was thinking about. That's a great example of something that's just happening now, but look at the fuss that causes. Yeah.
Yeah, and what it does is it fractures trust. Okay, and I genuinely think, and if there's one thing to take away from this, it's trust is going to be the most important currency you have in this new age. All right, everything is going to come down to, do I trust this brand, this person? Because anything that takes away from that, and you know, and again, you know, even if you're looking at, you know, say the portals, for example, they don't have a physical, you know, anything that people can see. But if this particular agent or any agent is caught lying or doing anything like that, then people know where to find them. You know, they know their office is on the high street, and they know that, you know, that they've got signboards up and down everywhere, and people that they will have some level of sanction for behaving dishonestly or distrustfully. And I honestly think that, having looked at what's happened over the last 20, 25 years, particularly as everybody's kind of moved online, and, you know, everybody, you know, agents I speak to all the time, you know, wonder about the worth of their office on the high street. I actually think that's going to, now it's going to go full circle. That's going to be a huge asset, because people will trust people they can see.
Yeah. They want to come in and meet you and make sure that it all matches up. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So what we're trying to do with this, and this is the AI assistant, this essentially we're saying, right, why not, rather than just when you move house at either end, Brecon and Brecon is on hand and 75 years, etc. Why don't you actually, when you're living in your home as well, actually use this trusted brand who've trodden every paving slab in the area, who've, you know, knocked on almost every door, been around for 75 years. These guys know this area. So why don't you just ask them about it? And what that means is this brand is kind of active in people's lives during the time they're living in there, as well as when they are when they're out and about. So you can ask this literally anything you like. So we can go, so what 3-bed properties do you have in an outstanding school in Oxford? All right, so off it goes. And it will interrogate their property listings. All right, so there's no integration required. There's literally just looks through the website and goes, all right. And so it knows where the outstanding schools are, because it's got the Ofsted reports in it. So this is the kind of question that you would just literally ask one of your, you know, basically ask a kind of estate agent, right? And this essentially is it kind of going off and helping that person with that particular query. What we also have are things like, so if we go, so it sits on people's on the website down here. All right, so you just click on it. It can also integrate on WhatsApp. All right, so you can actually have it on your WhatsApp as well, and you can ask things in here like, sorry, do you have any 2-bed properties near a train station? All right, and it's going to answer, and it may do, it may not. It will tell you basically, and if it doesn't, then it'll at least try and take it forward. So here's a few options. So this has just been really, really helpful, right?
It's
this
quick, isn't it, Mal? That is quick.
I know, and you know, again, I just think that, so this is what we call natural language search. It's actually the first natural language search that we know of in the UK, and we built it because it's just so nice, and it's just a nice interaction with these guys. So that's the kind of AI assistant. Again, you can ask it all about sport shops and restaurants and things like that too. But other kind of really cool things that we've been working on. This is what we call prop clips, right? So this, again, what we're going is, right, what are the types of things that agents will be doing if they could almost do anything, right? And there are certain properties where videos aren't appropriate because perhaps they're not, you know, they're not posh enough or whatever, not nice enough, and certainly, you know, kind of drone footage and things like that is way too expensive. So what we thought was, right, AI can now see. Okay, so you can show AI pictures and it would describe what those pictures are. You can even take a picture of your fridge and ask it what you should make for dinner. All right, that's kind of level that we're at now. So we thought, well, what would happen if we showed it property images and asked it to describe a property? Okay, could we kind of like start to get that going? And then we thought, well, if it can describe a property, could it make a script of a property? And then actually, could it then do a AI voiceover? And then actually what we can now do as well is we can get AI music and we can make the images move. So even though they're static images, AI will make them kind of come alive. So what you'll see here is that bush on the right-hand side is a static image, but actually that bush will start to move. On the next image, which is again static, the curtains flutter a bit and so on. This is entirely AI generated, all right, from the voice to the script to all of it. And this is, and these, and again, just to kind of talk about how cost effective these are like £20. All right, and we can turn them around within about sort of 6 hours, 5-6 hours.
Welcome to this quintessential English cottage, a blend of charm and practicality, which is available for offers in excess of £425,000. As you step past the period facade, you're treated to tranquil views of the countryside that lie just 6 miles from Tunbridge Wells and 3 miles from Frant Station. Inside, the heart of the home is a spacious open-plan kitchen and dining area, perfect for family feasts and cozy gatherings. 2 generous double bedrooms promise restful nights, with the main bedroom featuring a nostalgic fireplace.
Okay, so we're going to stop on the nostalgic fireplace because, again, that's what AI saw. But yeah, so this is using AI to find ways of presenting properties in a great way, really, really fast. You know, again, the turnaround is incredible. But then, you know, you can put these out onto your socials before they hit the portals. You can kind of make sure that they're up on that they're being sent out to your registered lists. So it's just, yeah, it's a way of using AI that's just kind of changes how you think about what's kind of possible, because you don't have to go around with a video camera to these places and then sit and do a voiceover. Just get AI to do it.
That's brilliant. That's really good, man.
And one of the other things, so we kind of spoke about sort of so here is virtual staging. So again, virtual staging has been around for a while. But you can see that the quality and the speed with which this kind of comes through is huge. So again, you know, within hours you can get an empty home completely furnished in quality virtual furnishings that changes how people perceive themselves in it.
It's brilliant. That is
it's lovely, right? And you kind of look at it going, is that not real? And then the next one you can see, so this is obviously a development. The floor hasn't even been done on this, right? So it doesn't look great. But then guess what? AI can change it completely and just make it real.
That's amazing.
Even more amusing are things like this. All right. Now, no disrespect to the person that owns this house.
It's a lot of rug there, isn't it?
Yeah, they decorate it so stunningly. But you know, again, this is a property that's sat on the market for quite some time. You know, there may be reasons for that. And what we can use AI to do is to actually get rid of those lovely sofas and then to completely change the look of it, and to then, by doing so, kind of really give people the opportunity to imagine it differently and actually picture themselves in it much more easily. You know, some might say this sells itself. Not 100% sure that's true in terms of the previous way it was furnished, but this obviously I think is much better. So, you know, these are kind of things, and again, cost effective, not cheap, cost effective. You know, so these are like, you know, £2 to £4 per image. All right, so it's literally just so cost effective, and these are the kinds of things that now are just so accessible and so easy. One other thing I'm just going to show you, because I'm very mindful of the time, is things around AI avatars. All right, so you watched that little prop clip earlier on. What we then thought was, right, well, how can we make it even more fun? Why don't we add an avatar in there? All right, so this is my avatar. I've never said these words. This is my avatar narrating the exact same script from AI. Welcome to this quintessential English cottage, a blend of charm and practicality, which is available for offers in excess of £425,000. As you step past the period facade, you're treated to tranquil views of the countryside that lie just 6 miles from Tunbridge Wells and 3 miles from Frant Station. Okay, so imagine this is your teams narrating every property that comes on the market, without having to, you know, put your cocktail down.
It's fascinating. So it will have your voice and obviously your mannerisms, I'm presuming.
Yes, absolutely right. Yeah. So it's just completely, it feels personal. From a vendor perspective, this could be the difference between winning a vendor and not, right? If you're able to turn this round, within a day or so, and then purposefully and obviously show that you care enough about it that you're going to get this voiceover done. I think it's really powerful from a kind of market share winning perspective as well.
That's really neat. That is really neat. So there you go, folks. That is the future today. So,
Yes.
so Mal, with this sort of ever-changing AI landscape, I presume that one of your principal tasks and the reason that you've set up ModelProp is to sort of keep on top of the plethora of different solutions available to agents, and to be able to sort of present it to them in a way that they can understand it, but also trust your analysis on it.
Yeah, it's so important, right? Like I said, trust is going to be the biggest currency that anybody has going forward. So yeah, we've set up ModelProp as being that sort of that kind of trustworthy ally as you go through all of this AI stuff. We know the industry. We've been here for a long time, yeah, we fundamentally believe that the estate agent value proposition is critical as people are making these massive decisions. So how can we deploy AI for the benefit of agents to help them help their clients? And yeah, look, we do a weekly newsletter, which you're welcome to kind of sign up for at modelprop.ai. And in that, we talk about what's happening in AI every week and have a occasional rant about various other things that are going on as well. Great.
Fantastic. Well, I'm itching to get my hands on it and to get to grips with it. But for people that are watching this, that are interested in learning more, how do they go about it? Is it just setting up a meeting with you and sort of exploring different options, or?
Absolutely. So yeah, look, just reach out to me. I'm on Mal at modelprop.ai. Feel free to email me. Yeah, look, this is a lot of our purpose is education and helping people to understand what's out there, and not necessarily to get them all to become AI avatars of themselves. But yeah, it's super exciting. Things are changing literally week by week. So yeah, we're here to help you navigate that, and anybody who wants to chat about anything to do with it, do please reach out to us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for giving us your time today.
Real pleasure. Great to catch up. Thanks very much indeed.